Hi, Sarah from Sarah Homfray Embroidery. So Mindful embroidery is very popular at the moment, so I thought it'd be fun to have a go at a mindful kit and to see if they have just printed the word mindful on the box or whether it actually really is mindful. So I make my living from doing embroidery, so I don't often get a chance to sit down and just do some stitching. I have deadlines that I have to meet and I have to make projects for specific things, so for YouTube videos for example, and I have to do the whole process that goes with that as well, all the planning and preparation that goes into that. So it's very rare I get to sit down and just do stitching for the pleasure of it. So I thought it'd be really nice to get a kit that is designed specifically for that purpose and to have a go. So I bought these two kits from DMC from their Mindful collection, and I'm going to stitch one of them and I'm going to give away the other one, so do keep watching to see how you can get your hands on one. So lots of people say that embroidery is quite a meditative process anyway, so let's see what's in a Mindful kit that makes it even more so. Let's open the box and have a look. So I'm going to have a go at this one, the Seed Heads kit, and I'm going to give the Zen Garden kit away. But if you want to get your hands on these two kits, at the time of filming they are still available on the DMC website. So I'll put a link in the description below and you can go there if you want to have a go at these two kits. So as you can see, I haven't had a peek inside, it's still got the cellophane on. So let's get the cellophane off and see what it says on the outside of the kit. Okay, so it's called Stitch Therapy, Mindfulness in Simple Stitches. So that sounds good already, liking that. This one is Seed Heads, and appreciate fleeting moments with sweet vanilla incense. So there's the first sign of why this one is a little bit different. So let's just have a look at the back. So it's got a picture of what's in it, so some threads and the fabric, and lots of incense by the look of it, and then it contains printed fabric, 6 skeins of DMC embroidery needle, 6 cones and 6 sticks of incense. Going to be high as a kite, and some simple instructions which we like the sound of too. So let's have a little look inside. Nice box by the way, like in the box. Okay, so not a lot in there. Right, here's my thread. 2, 3, 6 skeins. We've got some nice variegated ones, those would be really nice to have a go with, and 3 plain colours there, nice calming colours. Here's my incense. I'm looking to put the incense in, so I'm going to have to find something for that. 1 needle, 1 lonely little needle, probably add to that, and here's my fabric. I can smell that incense already. It's not even out of the packet. Right, it's about the same size as the box. I did wonder how big it was, so not too big, so that's good. And what else? All instructions. Right, 1 sheet. Doesn't get simpler than that, does it? So, picture of the design, thread number, and something at the bottom. Use 2 strands. It's in lots of languages, so I have to find the right language. It just says use 2 strands, so I think that's it. 2 strands all the way through, and there's the colour number, and I guess away we go. So what I'm going to do is get myself some equipment to stitch with and to stitch on. So I've got my fabric. Now I am a fan of backing fabrics. This is quite see-through, so I am going to put a backing fabric behind this, I think, because I won't be very relaxed and calm if I'm only on one piece and it's annoying me. So I am going to get a backing piece behind that. I'm going to iron it as well, always get the creases out, and find a frame to stitch it on. So I'm going to go and get all of that, and then I'll come back and we'll have a look at the actual stitching. Okay, so I've got everything that I need ready to go. So I've ironed my embroidery fabric. I've put backing fabric behind it. It is quite see-through and I don't really like that, so I've put a backing fabric behind it. I framed it up on a pair of stretcher bar frames because it is a square design and it's quite big, so if I put it in a hoop that'll damage it. So I've got my largest pair, 11-inch frames to work this on. And I've got everything else that I need. So I've got my threads ready over here, got my incense sticks ready, got my instructions, my scissors, and I've got a couple of extra needles. I don't like using one needle. If you drop one on the floor, then you're rummaging around looking for it. So have a couple of spare ones as well. And some matches ready to light my incense sticks. So there's nothing actually in the instructions about being mindful and doing a mindful embroidery and how you do that, which is a little bit disappointing because there is more to it than just saying this is a mindful kit, I believe. So I think it's about being present and being in the moment and enjoying the thing that you're doing there and then, and not worrying about anything else that needs doing. So not any chores that you should be getting on with, just about doing the stitches and enjoying every stitch you put in. So I know from experience that there are things that you can do before you start stitching that will make the stitching much better and much more enjoyable. If you haven't seen it yet, check out our top 10 tips on how to improve your embroidery. And in that, some really useful things to learn, maybe not just about the stitching, but about what you do beforehand. So doing the preparation is really important. So I've ironed my fabric, I've framed it up properly, I've got everything I need. I know there's nothing more pressing I need to be doing, and I can get on with my stitching. Okay, so one thing left to do, and that's to light my incense stick. Now I do have to say quickly at this point, we've just spent about half an hour looking for something to put the incense sticks in. I couldn't find anything. So far, the bit that's meant to be the most mindful part has been the most stressful part. So what I've done, I've got a bowl, really pretty bowl that I bought from India. I'm going to put a cone in that and light that and see how we get on with that. I've got my safety matches. So it does say on the kit this is for 16 plus because it's got a sharp needle in it, but no point does it mention matches and setting things on fire. So we're going to put our little cones, one of our little cones in. Right, in the bowl. Don't set fire to anything. Ooh. Right, just light the top. Just let it get going. Ooh. Right, got my little budder up here, made myself a little zen space. Actually, that's quite nice. I'm not really an incense burner person, but that is quite nice. Okay, so let's do some stitching. Right, so I've got my instructions. So right down here it says back stitch, so the whole thing is done in back stitch. So I don't have to think about different stitches and whether I know they're stitches. And I'm going to use 2 strands out of the 6 strands. Now it doesn't tell you how to strand those, but I do happen to know how to do that, so that's okay. And it also doesn't give an order of work. So I'm going to go from experience and start with the things at the back and work towards the front. So this stem here that's going behind the leaves, I'm going to do that first and go right up the middle so I can get into some stitching, get into the hang of the stitch. So that's where I am going to start. So we need a colour 317. Which is that colour. I was hoping to start with one of the really pretty colours, but it's okay. Right, so I'm going to pull my first thread, which is not that one there, it's that one there. Right, so there's 2 strands in the instructions, so pull one straight out, second one straight out, leave that thread with the skein so that I can find that colour again. Right, I'm going to use their needle, which doesn't say what number it is, but it looks, it's quite large actually, so it looks like a number 7 embroidery needle. Now it also doesn't tell you how to start and finish your thread, so if you were newbie to this you'd be frustrated already. I know how to do that, so I'm okay. So I'm going to start down here with my little knot on the top. I'm going to do 2 tiny little stitches. going to start at the bottom of my stem and work my way up there. So let's get going. So back stitch. It does tell you on the instruction how to do a back stitch. So ahead of myself, back down, previous hole. Okay, so we're up and running. I'm going to stitch all the way up here and then we'll see what's next. Now there's a little bit here right at the beginning of my design that you might not know about because there's nothing on the instructions to tell you how to deal with this. So I've got to jump from here to here, then across to here, then across to here, and then I can carry on. Now if you only had a single layer of fabric and you just passed the thread all the way up to here to carry on, you'd see it underneath. We're only outlining those, we're not filling those in. So if you've got a backing fabric on it, that will help to hide it. But I'm also going to show you another little trick while I'm here. Half for nothing is just to do a little starting stitch there. Do a little starting stitch there, so just up and down, very close together. And that just means there isn't a long thread on the back that can come undone, so that's nice and secure and I can just carry on stitching. If you've only got a single layer of fabric, you can't do that. You'll have to stop your thread, finish it off and start another one just for that small bit. So you might want to do these first and then come and put those in, but that's really a bit of a strange way around to do it. So that's just a little tip for you and a reason why I put a backing fabric on there, which means I can just jump up there with my stitches and not worry about starting and finishing my thread. So I'm just coming to the end of my first stem and I am quite relaxed, it has to be said. I quite like the incense, which is sweet vanilla. So just coming to the end. Now I notice from my instructions that all of these stems are in the same colour, so each stem is a single colour and then the variegated thread goes on the seed heads. So I'm going to go and stitch all of these stems now and then we'll come back and we'll have a look at the next colour. Right, so it's a new day. And I was very busy sewing last night, so I thought I would show you what I did because we turned the cameras off and we went indoors for the evening, and I took my sewing with me and I actually sewed all evening. I got comfy on the sofa and I did find it quite therapeutic and relaxing, and I just sewed and sewed until I was too tired to sew anymore basically. So I want to show you what I did last night. So we finished here. I was just going around these stems here, so I've put more stems in and I've done quite a few of the seed heads as well. So I've just got this little bit to go and these ones around here and the outline, which I'll do in a minute. But I did find this super relaxing. I didn't have to think about what I was doing, so all the decisions were made for me, and even the thread makes the decision for you, if you see what I mean. So it's variegated thread here and the colours just come out as they come out, so you don't have to think about changing colour or anything like that. So all I had to do was sit and stitch, and so I did find it super relaxing, not having to think about anything when I've been thinking all day long. So I've really enjoyed stitching this. If you want to have a go at stitching one and want to be in with a chance to win this Zen Garden kit, all you need to do is to leave a comment in the comment section below this video with the words "I need stitch therapy." And make sure you type them exactly as they're written on the screen, because our random winner generator will pick these exact words. So if you don't spell it right, you won't be in with a chance to win. So you'll need to leave your comment before Friday the 22nd of October, because we're going to draw the winner first thing Friday morning. If you have won, if you're the winner, we will leave you a message in below your comment. We will answer your comments, so do make sure you check those if you don't have your notifications on. If we don't hear from you within a week, we will draw again and send it to somebody else, so do make sure you check your comments. So don't forget, the words are "I need stitch therapy" to have a go at winning this kit here, and good luck everybody. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more stitching. It's nice and quiet. I haven't got anything else to do at the minute, so I'm going to get back into this and finish off my flowers and go around the edge, and then I'll show you what the finished thing looks like. I just wanted to mention briefly about how I'm stitching this, because it's not immediately apparent how to do it from the instructions. So if you get a flower like this, or a seed head, should I say, like this, where you've got ones on top of each other, then stitch the one at the back first, then the next one on top, and then the one that's right on top of everything last. So you might need to just work out the best way round to stitch it. So I'm going to go up this one here, start again here, up to that one there, back down to here, and all around that shape. These threads are really beautiful in the colours that they've got in them, and they just change colour throughout the thread, so you could go completely randomly and just stitch whatever comes out in the needle first and whichever way around you want to go. But I've actually found myself making some decisions about what I stitch and where I stitch, depending on how the colours come out. So I find myself looking at the thread and going, what colour's next, and is that next to the same colour? I just can't help myself. Just have a little bit of input into it. But if you want to just stitch them as they are, you know, these threads, and just see what comes out, that's what's really great about them. But I find myself just choosing a little bit what I want next to what. So in this seed head here, I've got a pink and a blue and a green and a bluey pink one here, so just made sure the colours didn't sit next to each other. But you know, that's just me. I can't help having some input into it. But if you just want to sit and stitch it and see what happens, that's really, could be really nice as well, just to see what comes out. So finished all my seed heads, they look really lovely, so I've just got the outline to do. So here's the finished piece. I think that's really pretty. I really enjoyed doing that. DMC have done a great job with this design, especially for a Mindful kit. It's a really simple design. It's only one stitch that you have to learn, and it's a nice easy stitch as well. And just choosing those colours just means it sort of designs itself in a way. Those colours go wherever they want to go, and it's a nice surprise to see where they end up. And everybody's would be different as well, which I always really like that. So yeah, lovely design. Really enjoyed that. My lesson from that is to take some more time out for myself to do some stitching. So if you've watched the video, you will know how to get involved in our free draw, so do get involved in that. I hope you've enjoyed looking at this kit with me, this Mindful kit, and you're inspired to do more mindful practices in your own embroidery. So from Ginger Cat and I, who is nice and relaxed, has to be said after that, we will see you in the next video.